a new version of Midjourney that has been released, and this is version 5.2. And in this new version, there's a lot of updates and things to look out for. So let's just take a look at some of the updates that have come out in Midjourney version 5.2. So there is an upgraded aesthetic system, there's an improved aesthetic coherence and increased diversity, and there's also some other exciting new features that are introduced to help generate some better looking images from your prompt. So I think it's safe to say that with this update, it's an incredible new version. So one of the big highlights, I think, is the zoom out feature. So that's probably one of the most prominent things that you will see in this new version, but we'll discuss that later. Just first starting with the aesthetic system. So the stylize command has been updated. So this new range can go from 0 to 1000, which is much stronger now. So as an example, the stylize 1000 prompt in version 5 and 5.1 should be a stylize 200 prompt in version 5.2. So you might have to consider reducing it by as much as 5 times. But if we just look at some of the images generated with version 5.2, we'll definitely see an enhanced aesthetics, and it's higher accuracy and more details. So definitely a lot more attention to the details in these new images. It's pretty incredible if you take a look at it actually. But let's just get into some of the new features and commands. So the first is the high variation mode. So it's there by default. So you can switch to an alternative variation mode by typing / settings. And additionally, you can choose the desired intensity for variations of all enhancements. So if we take a look at this image, we can see different variations, and you'll notice that the differences are actually quite larger than how they were previously. Previously, the differences would not be as noticeable as this. The second new feature is the / shorten command, and basically this allows you to analyze a prompt and receive suggestions regarding which words may be redundant and which ones may be crucial. So this command will cancel out unnecessary keywords for you and return with shortened prompts. So this can be incredibly helpful if you tend to put in too much unnecessary or ineffective words when you're uncertain about the keywords. Sometimes you might want to have a very detailed image, but this could help save a lot of time by shortening the prompts that you use. And the third feature, which is what I spoke about earlier, is the zoom out feature. So this is probably the best feature that everyone is talking about, and it's one of the biggest highlights because now you can literally zoom out from the original image that you've generated. So each upscale option now includes buttons for zooming out underneath, so you can use this to reframe the image. In version 5.2, you can just say zoom out 2x and it will zoom out the image 2x. It will shift the camera perspective and enhance details on all sides of the image. Then you can also make a square, so it adds details on 2 sides to transform a non-square image into a square image. So that's another feature. And then there's a custom zoom, which presents a text box, and then you can modify the prompt while zooming out and also adjust the aspect ratio. So these zoom features are really incredible if you want to zoom out the image and if you want to try out the endless zoom. So to do the endless zoom, what you'll have to do is just zoom out 2x and do that 10 times, and then you'll be able to create this sort of endless zoom looking animation. So the zoom feature is said to revolutionize animation and how videos are created because it's very useful, it's very effective, and it's quite powerful. So it really can create such an incredible aesthetic and visual that you can use as an intro to a video if you want to create a different perspective on an image that you've created. So this really is a huge feature. So that's basically everything in version 5.2, which is really exciting. So if we just look ahead and think about what's the next big step, what we know is version 6 is currently in development, but has also been temporarily paused due to dataset changes. But we know that the upcoming system will differ significantly from the existing versions, providing more diversity and adopting a distinct aesthetic approach. And it will also come with advanced capabilities in handling complex concepts. So these are really big updates that I think everyone can look forward to.